All right, today, as you may have seen, I went to the National N-Scale Convention held this year in Reno, Nevada. Kind of crazy how I ended up there. I was supposed to go to Reno and Sacramento and San Francisco in March, but with all the 32 atmospheric rivers they had and 150 inches of snow over the Sierra Nevada mountains, I ended up postponing that trip. After I postponed it, I realized that the N-Scale convention was in Reno in June, so I'm like, well, heck, I'll just schedule my vacation around then, and that would work out pretty good. So that's what happened, and that's how I ended up out there. Now, I'm going to walk through kind of my experience as well as some of the things I bought. I will say I've been to 3 of these N-Scale conventions now, and honestly, like, this was probably the worst one, just from what was there. My favorite was Pittsburgh in 2017. In fact, I did a video of that. You can see, if you search back in the past videos on the channel, you can see the overview there. That one was awesome. It was right on the river, right on the railroad tracks, right across from the city. And what showed up from a layout perspective was pretty cool. There was a lot of good stuff, and there were deals to be had. I bought a ton of stuff, swap meet and stuff too. So I went last year to Nashville also, and that was okay. That one wasn't too bad. I did find a couple things. There was one dealer who was like having a fire sale, everything sold, and he was just trying to get rid of some stuff. So he was like, I got like 3 engines for like $50. It was great. You can see that video too, also in the channel, and the engines I bought as well. This one, there wasn't too much for sale that I saw that I would wanted. There weren't any mega deals to be had. And the layouts themselves, like, I wasn't all super impressed with, to be honest. There's a lot of like single rail, basic layout without much detail. Nothing really like wowed me except for like the Disneyland setup, which again, you can see the video of the overview, and I did a quick time lapse too, although that one came out a little shaky. I'm still trying to figure out how to do a good time lapse with model trains, so be forewarned if you see that one. But at the end of the day, I did find 3 cool stuff I wanted. I was looking for. So one of them is this guy right here. I've been looking for kind of a high quality little bitty, dang, that's on there, little tank car. And I have a couple others like this, but this one just spoke to me for some reason. It looks good. It looks great. It has I call them Rapido connectors, but when I was at this convention, a couple people called it Rapido. And that just sounds extremely goofy to me. I don't know. I've been calling them Rapido my whole life. So if it's supposed to be Rapido, I apologize, but that just sounds goofy to me. So I'm going to continue to call it Rapido, because that just makes a lot more sense than Rapido. So it's got the connectors I wanted. And it's a good looking tank car. I thought it would be great for the layout, and I might do a converter to a Kato piece maybe, so that I can have one side to Kato, one side to Rapido. Goofy. But yeah, original box, Atlas, you can see it there. If it's in focus, I don't know if it will or not, but yeah. This was a good find. It was $10, which is a reasonable price. It's not, a deal of the century or anything, but that wasn't too bad. And I also found this one, same dealer. Again, for some reason this spoke to me. I don't know why. There was like 3 others just like this, but different paint schemes. But I like this one for whatever reason. This one was only $7, so $7 isn't too bad for what it is, and I think it will look great. Looks brand new, never been used, but it's an older model power, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, so those were the 2 cars that I got, and then for the engine, where is that? It's over here. I was looking at this, and I'm like, what in the world is this thing? And it was listed for $20, and I'm like, I don't want to spend $20 for it. But then the guy's like, you got $10? I'll give it to you for $10. What in the world is this? I've never seen this before, and I just thought it was super crazy. Like I said, it was $20 price tag. The guy says it works, so, you know, we'll see. And I might put it on the track here shortly to test it out and figure out what's the deal. But, yeah, I told the guy even, like, I like stupid old engines like this. I don't know why, but for the right price, yeah, I'll do $10 for this. Like, what the heck? You know, even if it doesn't work, I could do a review and then try to sell it back or something. But I just thought it was ridiculous. Like, the length and just the absurdity of what this is compared to, like, anything modern. And I doubt this is even to scale, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it is. It is a Bachmann, as shown on the bottom here. Bachmann, Hong Kong, it says. Made in Hong Kong. Interesting. The guy said he's had it since the early 80s, or to mid 80s. Like, he estimated somewhere around 1985. And it looks like it. Like, it's just so ridiculous. So, yeah, those were the 3 purchases. Again, nothing too crazy, nothing too special. But for whatever reason, you know, this one was just insane. And for $10, like, okay, I'll do that for 10. 20 was a little steep for me. But, yeah, I mean, that was the purchasing experience. They kind of had a weird setup where they had, like, most of the sellers in the one room with the layouts. And then there were a couple people, like, off to the side down this other, like, hallway that you wouldn't really know was there unless you looked for it. That's where I got these two in the back, the freight cars. And this was in the main section. A lot of it was more either, like, hobby people, like, with real stores, or a lot of vendors obviously go to these two. There weren't too many, like, people off the street just selling their stuff. There were a couple tables that seemed to be like that, and those usually are where the deals are, where I found in the past. It's just people just trying to sell their personal stuff versus through a hobby shop or something. But, I mean, overall, I'm glad I went. Although the time guides was not very easy to follow. According to the website, like, the layouts opened at 9 a.m., which I thought was early. And then, like, the public can enter the swap meet at 12. But when I got there, they said both don't open till 12 to the public. And I'm like, it's not what your website says, but okay. It was held at one of the casinos, the Nugget Casino in Reno. Which was kind of neat because they got the space and everything for, you know, in order to do this. So yeah, that was that. Why don't I put this on the track and see what happens when we fire it up. The guy was saying something about a strobe light. It might have some kind of, like, pulsing lights or something. I don't know. He did say it worked. He did say it ran. So let's, you know, I'm not expecting anything high end here, but let's just see what happens when we put it on the track. Alright, well, as you can see, it's even longer than my re-railer here. It's just so ridiculous looking. So there you go. The scale is just off the chain. Like, I can't imagine this is to scale. For comparison's sake, here's my BNSF. It just looked like a tiny little toy compared to the beast that's behind it. And that was another thing too, like, for whatever reason I was there, and if you look at the video, like, half the engines that were being run on the layouts, and maybe it was just the timing thing, but it seemed like half of them were BNSFs. Like, you look all over the place and it was BNSFs running everywhere. Not that there's anything wrong with BNSF engines, but it was just kind of funny to see almost no variety to that respect, that everyone was running their BNSF engines. Anyway, so that's a comparison there, and just because we can, here's a tiny little Japanese steam engine next to it too. You can see the difference is absolutely crazy and nuts. So, alright, let's see if this thing powers up and runs at all. Again, I'm not expecting much, but we shall see what happens here. Get my camera to stay. Oh, there's that strobe light he was talking about. Well, the lights turn on, but I see no movement. But that is a pretty cool strobe light. It's just for sitting on the track, like the guy was saying you could do with it. Trying to get more detailed look. Come on, focus. I've never seen that before. Strobe light. Alright, let's see if we can get this sucker moving. Oh, I feel a little jerk. Up. Probably hasn't run in 30 years. Up. Look at that. Up. Might need some oil. It wants to go. Come on. Come on. It's like rubbing the little puppy in 101 Dalmatians. Maybe we need more power? I got it almost all the way up. Alright, that's all the way. Hey, look at that. We are moving. We are stopping. Go. Go. Well, that's at least promising that it does move. It's actually not as loud as I thought it would be either. That's cool. If I can get this thing to actually go. Like I said, it might need some oil. Might need some more love. But it looks like it's starting to bust out of its hibernation. And like I said, that's not too bad of a sound either. I expected much worse. Ugh, I think we got jammed on the wheels. Alright, well, I'm gonna play around with this more. See if we can get this sucker moving for reals. And at some point do a real review on it. This was just an intro to show you what I got. It is what it is. It's a $10 engine, and it's ridiculous. But it does work. It does. All the lights seem to work fine. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth the $10. I don't know about the 20, but yeah, we'll see if we can get this thing moving for real, and maybe it will bust out into a real working engine that I won't use too often because it is old and loud and stupid looking. So it would mainly be just to look good for what it is, and go from there and do a full review at some point on the experience of what it is like. And you know, it's different. I like different. I'm always looking for different, so this is not something I have or have seen before, and so I think it was a good purchase along with those other two freight cars I got. And yeah, I think overall I enjoyed my time in Reno. I enjoyed seeing the layouts, but I think it could have been better, in all honesty. And I've seen better too. Like the Nashville show was better, and the Pittsburgh one is still the top-notch show that I've been to. Where is it going to be next year? I don't know. I haven't seen anything yet, but maybe I'll go again. I don't know. I do like it. I enjoy going to these train shows, especially if you see something you've never seen before, like this one. It's totally worth going. So I encourage you all to go as well. And yeah, stay tuned for whatever else is coming down the line here.